Welcome back to the garage, guys. I'm Damien and this is the Binder Builder. Today I'm going to take a break from the bug and take care of a little side, I don't want to call it a side hustle, a side project that I needed to do for my daughter. She just graduated from high school.
All right, yeah, woo!
And we needed to get her a vehicle. Now, I'm not one of those parents who will buy their brand new driver a brand new car and just hope for the best. That's never the way I've worked. That's not what happened to me when I was a kid. My first car I bought for $1, and it was a 1977 Plymouth Arrow that had been sitting in front of one of my neighbors for years and years. But anyway, for my kids, I've always tried to get them a nice hoopty. I hate to say it that way, but basically a beater car for them to beat on as their first vehicle. Typically, it's a Honda Civic, and our budget's usually around $1,500. Those $1,500 Civics are hard to come by nowadays, so we were kind of looking around for Bella a nice little Civic or something of that nature, when a family friend let us know that he was looking to get rid of his 2003 GMC Envoy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, it's a pretty nice little car. But this car had been sitting under some trees for a few years and needed some work. He had tried to trade it in when he got a new car, but the dealer didn't want it. So he figured, might as well give it to someone who could use it instead of just giving it away. So the history is, it's got about 204,000 miles. And they parked it because his wife was having trouble getting in and out with her illness. So they bought a smaller car, something lower to the ground, so that she didn't have to climb in and out. Fast forward 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years, this Envoy is still underneath those trees and developing issues. But needless to say, I went over to take a look and give it a spin around the block. It had a horrible miss, and the transmission would not shift to save its life. My first drive around the city, I couldn't get it over 45, even on the freeway. It was crazy. The miss, and then I had to manually shift it. It was just not doing good. Nevertheless, I tried to see if I could figure it out, because after all, it's free. Famous last words, right? The first thing I wanted to do was get rid of all the gas in it. Now, it had about a half tank, and after anywhere from 2 to 4 years, probably resembled more like varnish than anything else, and it sure didn't smell like gas anymore. So after trying to siphon it out, which did not work, we ended up deciding we're going to drive to a nearby city to get it out of the system. Unbelievably, it sucked the entire half tank of gas in a single 20-mile trip. But with the low fuel light on, we did make it to the city. And after having lunch at Rib Crib, we decided to go get some gas as well as go put it through a self-serve car wash. I don't know where all the video I had went, but here's a quick video of what it looked like. This is, again, the best before pictures I've got. Now those black dots on the paint, those are actually mildew or algae or something growing. I have no idea what they are. I mean, they're all over the place. It's been sitting under a tree for a while, but not too bad. It's a little rough. Definitely got some, itched on there. Good stuff. All right, well, see if we can clean this sucker up a little bit though. Definitely needs it. Good gravy. We needed to fill up the tank, so I put another half tank in. I didn't want to fill it all the way up because the goal was to completely flush the tank as many times as possible. That to me meant running it dry. I know that can invite some problems, sucking in nastiness from what's left in the tank, but But after filling it with gas, we happened to cross a self-serve car wash, and so here's a small video that I got cleaning it up. We ran out of gas a second time on the way home. Again, only a 20-mile trip. And after safely parking it under the same tree it had been parked in for so long, I got this video.
Audio recognized.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a lot cleaner, that's for sure. Definitely a lot cleaner. It definitely needs a good, what is it? Is that even, I bet you it could be buff the crap out and make it shiny again, but as you can see, a lot better. Alrighty. Despite looking way better, this car still needed a lot of help. We got new gas in it, but it still wasn't running quite right. It was running better, don't get me wrong. We actually got it to 65, but that was all it would do. Now David, the guy who is offering this vehicle to us, did say he replaced the spark plug, so I know it wasn't that. He's a pretty smart guy, and I trusted him on the work that he did. But still, it just was running like crap. Because of the drivability issue, I went ahead and made an appointment with a buddy of mine named Cody. He's a mechanic that does work on the side, and I wanted him to check it out, see what he could find. Despite being 120 miles away, I always use Cody for my work simply because Cody is an awesome mechanic. He's extraordinarily honest, and he's good. So I don't mind the trip. We filled that gas tank all the way up and even brought a 5-gallon jug just in case. The next morning he called us up to let us know that 2 of the 6 coil packs were dead. I mean, not even thinking about firing. They were completely gone. Happy that the drivability issue might be fairly easy to fix, we went ahead and gave Cody the green light to go ahead and just check over the whole vehicle. First thing Cody found was that the brake system was in need of repair. The back brakes worked fine, but the front brakes, the calipers and so forth, were completely frozen and hardly worked at all. Luckily, being a mechanic, he was able to find this kit that actually included everything. Rotors, pads, calipers, all the hardware and fluids for about 250 bucks. Definitely getting that. While he had the wheels off, he went ahead and checked the front suspension, and as you might guess, anything with 204,000 miles, there might be some play. He found play in the bushings, ball joints were bad, the wheel bearings were bad, there was just a lot of stuff. Luckily, there's a front end rebuild kit for these things, and it comes with everything. It comes with upper and lower control arms, the steering knuckle itself, ball joints, tie rods and links, the front shocks and spring, and all the boots and hardware. And it was all for about 550 bucks. We also had Cody check out the lights. While driving it to his place, the chase car found that a couple of the bulbs were out. Some of the sockets were burnt, and the wiring, well, you'll see it in a future video, needed some help. But he was able to repair the wires and all the bulbs to make sure all the lights worked properly. Obviously, Cody wouldn't have an alignment machine at his house, so he did the best he could doing the conventional way. But obviously, when we got back into town, we took it to Big Go to make sure that the alignment was spot on. With the work complete, we headed home. And let me just say, it was a much different drive home. Instead of getting like 6 miles a gallon, yes, I actually calculated it out, we were getting about 17. Loved it. Not just that, cruise control could hold 75, except for uphills. Then I had to downshift into third from drive just to give it that extra RPM to make it up the hills. The best news, though, is Cody gave us an official seal of approval. He said it was a pretty decent car despite the miles. It should be a solid runner for my daughter. And that's just the beginning of this story. In the next video, we're going to go over some of the things we did to try to clean it up and make it into a good driver. Hope it works. So do me a favor, hit the like button and consider subscribing and see how this little car will turn out. But until the next video, thanks for joining me on this little side adventure. I hope to see you on the next video. I'm Damien, and this is the Binder Builder.